here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Money Thoughts with Coach Caren, with your money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. I'm here with my partner and producer, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax, hydrate, and let's get some nuggets of wisdom from Coach Caren about our money. Because if you don't have your wealth, you probably will have problems with your health because you will be up nights worrying. Okay, guys, let's get started. Caren, what are we talking about today?
Oh, we're finishing up this month and continue the conversation with attitude towards money.
Okay.
Some people have a bad attitude, some people behave badly, and all this stuff tips over into your business. So I'm going to do a quick recap, a rehash on what we did of the month right through to where we're going to start off today. So the first week, we talk about the right attitude towards money in your business. So we talk about the focus, understanding, and allowing what must happen. And then for the second question, we went into the momentum of starting, keeping, in between that most of us don't like, afraid of, and really upset, because that part, that's the messy part. That's the real messy part. That in between is very messy. Okay.
In between what?
So I'm saying that once you focus and you have the understanding, you have allowed, and you start that momentum, the in between is the messy part before you get to the keeping. So, like I talk about the $20 in your purse. It's hard to keep $20 in your purse when you never keep $20 in your purse. So you're going to put in a 20, you're going to take it out, you're going to put it in back, you're going to take it out. If you stick with it over 90 days or so, you start being able to keep it, because the minute you put $20 in your purse, I like to talk about the $20, because the minute you put $20 in your purse, every single thing under the sun is going to tell you why you need to spend the $20. Okay? Everything. Yeah. I tell you, I went on a trip for my friend's wedding anniversary, the 25th wedding anniversary. And a lot of people came back home with money in the purse because, of course, I held down court. I started talking to this one person and other people joining, and even the waitress. She's like, I know I'm over here, but my ears was cocked. She goes, I had tips today and I'm keeping some money in my purse.
Gotcha.
I would laugh. So a lot of people, when we left, people even that I was already talking to, said to me, I'm taking money back with me, just so you know. Usually when I come on this trip, I'm flat broke when I go back home. I was like, what? You've been paying attention. Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then week 2, we talk about how do you block off a set time for your business, what fears come up and how you handle them, and a little bit of trick. I talk about how to do it so you can get past that. Yeah, last week we talked about what happened in the world today and how you can tie this in with what you do. Usually what's happening in the world, we get all excited, we are activating instead of being proactive. So when we hear the news or hear something happen, we flip out, we take away time from what we're doing, and we're now in that mind-boggling, swirling nonsense that take us all out of our alignment, and we are busy worrying with whatever else is happening. We have no control of it. Read it, look at it, then leave it. Stop carrying it with you. You don't need that in your backpack. Leave it alone. That's why I don't. This is my own take on things. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, all those things that I keep talking about have a direct effect on you in your health, in the money that you're keeping, and the things you're doing. It does, and it weighs you down. And when you get to realize this, you're like, I can't believe this little nonsense is holding me back. Yes, it's part of what's holding you back.
Well, Al says he needs his $20 for gas for his car. How you doing, Al? And Jay is here. Hey, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Nora, how you doing, Nora? Thanks for tuning in. Wow. It does seem like when you have money in your pocket, your mind starts talking to you about what you need it for.
Yes.
Right now.
Right now. Mm-hmm. And so people go to this thing where you see, that's why I don't carry money in my pocket, because I rather have my card, because that way I don't buy anything. That's a big fat lie. You're just not tracking what you bought with the card.
Exactly. You're not feeling it.
Yes.
There's something about the exchange that makes it very tangible and noticeable.
Yes.
When you, for instance, when you break $100 bill, you remember that.
You remember that, and the credit card company recognize that, and that's why it's given a see. In the next couple of months, they're going to be all over the malls here, in all the stores, giving all the store cards. They probably started already. I'm not
Oh yeah, they
sure.
start before Halloween. Halloween has gotten to be a really big holiday
Yeah.
for as far as revenue.
Yeah, so the credit card company salespeople are out there. They're getting a card for you. It's Christmas. You can go shopping. You buy a whole bunch of things, and I prove it. I remember one time I got my card renewed, and I went to the store, and I set a budget on the gifts for people. And that year, when I see the gifts I brought in, because it was all bought on my card,
There you
I
go.
went to town. I freaked myself home. I went back to the bank and I paid out the card. Because I know I wouldn't have done that if I was shelling out the dollars.
Correct.
Note to self. Note to self. You just went crazy stupid. Why? But that's what it does to you. It makes you want to go do stuff. Now, for the people who spend money freely, I do, and credit card would help them out. They have to be so aware so that they're keeping track of the bill that come in. They bought something for $300 and they note it down. So on their budget, if credit card is how they need to buy, they know that it has to be in that 11-day cycle. I don't care about the 15. I don't care about the 18 days. 11-day cycle where they know that in 11 days they can pay off this monies they have taken, whatever they bought with a card, so that they're not incurring interest.
You say an 11-day cycle, not a 14-day cycle.
No, not a 14.
Okay, I'm not going. I know that's a rabbit trail. I'll ask that later. Why?
Yes. All right. So today we are talking about we continue the conversation, as I said, about the money attitude towards money. And one of the things that I really want to touch on and talk about is understanding your earning when you're going to buy something. When you go to buy something, you have to understand. I don't know if I mentioned this before I get into anything else. You have to understand how much time you're putting in to be able to own this piece of thing when it's not going to get you anywhere. If it's going to give you comfort, if it's going to look after you in some way, I'm not telling you not to spend. I'm not the kind of person who talk about money and tell you to be living mean to yourself. This is not the kind of conversation.
Okay.
I'm really having this conversation so you can be aware and understand that the money and blanketing over things that you're supposed to look into doesn't help you. And so you have to pay attention to that. So if you're spending money to get a beer, I'm not saying you mustn't have a beer, but why would you want to drink a beer every day? It's not good for you anyway. And why would you want to drink a beer every day? Because that's money that you're peeing out as you drink the beer. And you're swelling your belly. This is me going on into my little tangent, right?
Okay, so now we just offended everybody who watches football and soccer, but okay.
Are they watching it every day? And that's fine. No. That's fine. You're doing that comfort for yourself. But when I see people talk about, I'm not going to pay for this program for them to teach me this, and I'm not going to pay for you to do that. But you've wasted a whole week, 2 months, a year, and you did nothing with your business because you couldn't put aside $10, $20 or whatever you need to put aside to invest in yourself, really, in your business. That part, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why aren't you getting this together? Time. Sometimes time, not sometimes time. You can't get back that time. You can't get back that time. If you went to YouTube to learn something that you don't want to pay for, I'm going to talk about the thing right now. You don't want to pay for, you can spend 2 days looking for something because you don't know what you're looking for.
That's true.
You haven't budgeted what it is why you're going to YouTube. Budget is never just money. You can budget on your time, you budget on money, you budget on the disciplines that you want to learn, which means you got them set up on when you're going to learn them. If you know you want to work with a Facebook specialist, and very rarely people have the money to just go hire them. So you budget them in that business budget I like to talk about. You budget them in 3 months, I'm going to hire this person because they're going to help me do boom, 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 and boom. But in the 3 months while I'm waiting to hire them, I am going to prepare myself Maybe I need to get my site right. Maybe I need to get all these things in place. So when I get them, I can't say that they didn't help me because I am ready. When you get people and you're not ready, you're wasting money. Yes, you
Mm.
are, because you are not ready for the people, because they're coming to you with all the gun blazing because this is what they do.
Yes.
The only reason you're not seeing benefit and somebody else is seeing benefit is because they are ready for
Mm.
you. I love working with people who are ready. And if you're not ready, you probably just need to take one of my courses and get yourself ready. Because when you come to me, we can have this conversation of where you need to be. I want to get you clear so that we can do stuff together, so you can see results in what you do, and your attitude towards money will be different. You will
Mm.
see different. Most small business owners were in a mastermind last night, and I was telling a lady who was looking to sell the small business owner, I said, you have to understand, most of us is coming from a hustle mentality. We've hustled to get where we are. So if we invest in things that's not going to give us a result right away, we start seeing it as a losing battle. We don't understand it's the long game. I had to grow to understand the long game. I accustom, I got a product, I get it together, I sell it, I make money, I move on. I hate the wait. Yes, I am going to admit it. I hate the wait. But I had to train my mind
Mm-hmm.
to understand when I wait how great the rewards are.
Okay. So we have to learn how to postpone personal gratification, immediate
Yeah,
gratification.
yeah. You
Okay.
got to play the long game.
Good morning, Brenna. Brenna's
Hi,
saying,
brother.
wow. Okay. Playing the long game is part of having the right attitude.
It is. It is. It is. And if you want to run a sustainable business, you have to play the long game. You really and truly have to play the long game. I used to be in the import export business. This is eons ago, in the 80s and the 70s, in my homeland. And it mean I had to go to Brazil, inspect the goods, making sure whatever is coming is good and
Mm-hmm.
where I wanted to be. And I had a mentor at the time. And she couldn't see as far as I was seeing, even though she was my mentor, because she was playing the game that was in front of her. And because I'm a big picture gal, I was seen way ahead of her. And we were in this battle, of what to do. And it was really, the battle was the investing part of the money. So
Mm-hmm.
how much do we invest? In
Uh,
her mind was to play safe. So we invested $1,000, and our return, because we were playing big. The return was like $4,000 or $5,000 on your $1,000 investment.
mm-hmm.
I see that as, if we're going to make this trip, I want to double that money. And that freaked her out like nobody's business, because she wasn't seeing money the way I saw money. I was able to say, if I lose the whole $2,000, it's okay, I can make it back. If you're afraid that if you lose it, you can't make it back, you wouldn't want to dive in. That's what I'm talking about. And usually,
Mm-hmm.
the reason people don't want to pay for a program or think it's not going to work is because they don't have the trust and the faith yet in themselves that they're going to be able to put in the work to make it work. Most people, we have the con artists, but most people programs is going to make you get to where you need to be on the things they promise you. The reason you don't get there, it's because maybe you came in. I'll give you a couple of reasons. You came in and you're thinking they're going to make you make oodles of money. They can't make you make oodles of money. Let me just state that right now. Even if they promise you, they can't. Okay. And you're thinking that way. So the kind of work they're going to make you do inside is not the kind of work they advertise to you. And so the advertisement is still in your brain. So you can't see past the advertisement for the deep work the really good people is going to give you to get to where you need to be. It is deep work they're going to give you. Work that's going to make you mad, upset, vexed, want to punch them out, the regular people. Because if they don't allow you to dig there, you can't do what you want to do and supposed to do. When somebody come and tell me they want to do something, I'm going to work them to get clear on it. And they're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to like it. Because if I pay you my money, so just tell me what to do so I can make more money. Stop bothering me about my feelings and my mind, and just tell me what to do, and I'm going to go do it. And then they go do it, but there's no results. That's because you didn't do the deep dive work that you have to do. I've got a program coming out called the 4-hour workday. And my job is to get people to work less and to focus on their immediate to get them the money they want. But before I get them there, I'm going to make them do a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys this, but I can't advertise all that on my sales page, right? But that's the truth. I have to get them through the understanding of themselves and how they behave and how they work in their businesses to get them to the 4-hour workday. They have to go through the process.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brenna has a comment here. She says, "Good morning. Many times
Good morning,
when
Brenda.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Many times when people outsource services, they don't know what to expect from the provider. They spent resources on them and felt as if they were wasted."
So, what was the question?
I don't
Or
think
just a statement?
it's a
Just a
statement.
statement.
Um, and I think that you explained why people should not feel like that. You know what I
Because
mean?
I know, yeah, I know a lot of business people, especially online, feels like that. You know, especially if you had a brick and mortar before. Like if I went, for example, and carry my son to get his haircut, and I was in the barber shop, and I went to the guy. I said, "You own this business, right?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "How are you surviving? Like you're dying. I'm sitting here. There's 6 people waiting. You guys are chatting. You guys are not moving fast. With the slowest barber shop. Yeah, I've been to a few. How are you surviving?" Like literally, because I know him from a while back. Literally, I'm like, you got space here. It's empty. Nobody's using it. The hairdresser were nasty that you had here. So I guess you let them go. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, who's coming in? How are you paying this rent? Are you just
Mm-hmm.
wasting money? I was just like upfront with him. And he says, oh, you could see he just wanted to release. And we had a good conversation on it. Because he's saying that I've run a few Facebook thing, I do this, but it didn't work. But he didn't really work it. He didn't put 100% that I keep talking about in it. He just didn't. You
Mm-hmm.
his barbershop cannot survive. They were late, so I was pissed. They opened at 10 and he was there at 11. So a whole hour.
God.
Yes, I went shopping. I did a lot of things and came back. I was just mad. You lost an hour. I said I stood there and 5 people walked away. That's 5 people out the door. That's $100 you lost. And probably more people I didn't see really come in and stop. I'm like, what are you doing? Anyway, so if somebody, I'm referring that because if somebody came in like me and say, I can help you, and he might think that he need to get 100 people in there right away. When I say I'm going to help you, for the first month, I'm really learning his business, understanding his attitude, the monies he make, how we can make more. And we have to go through all this stuff, depending on how often we meet, for me to get a sense of how to market him well. And he's going to have to also be willing to do a lot of homework of himself. He has to talk to the clients when they come in. I might have to do some interviewing for him. I might have to show him how to get the right people in there. He might have to get rid of some of the people that he loves because they're not helping his business. And he
Mm-hmm.
love them outside the business, but they're not good. You know, there's 2 guys in there that was really good. The rest, I think he can send them packing. They just waste time. They waste time and they're not understanding that he has to pay these bills because he's their buddy. So I'm saying that is to say, when you hire people, service people like me, because it's not tangible that you can see, you have to be willing to be in there and do the work that they're asking you to do, even when you don't understand it fully. Because when somebody has it in their head how they're going to help you, even though they're telling you the stuff, there's some things that takes time to marinate. Last week I talked about working at a certain pace and understanding certain things. As a coach, you have to go away and deal with people's information that they give you and let it sit with you and marinate on it and find ways to explain it to them, but also for you to do some intricate work that is not necessarily explainable to the client because it's not going to do anything for them, but you know it's going to help. And they have to trust and have faith in you. This is hard. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you it's easy. This is hard when you hire somebody to fix something for you. And you can't see how they're doing it. The wash and dry broke down. The guy came and he says, the fuse gone, it's the heater pad gone. If you never open a washer, a dryer, let me tell you what happens at the back there. You're like, what the hell? And what is he banging? And what is he taking so long? I mean, it's a fuse. but it's where the fuse is sitting. And now
Mm.
the wire is to that. And he can't explain to you. He could explain to you, but he can't tell you all the different things he's checking and doing because it's a waste of time telling you. That's why he's not telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had known about a washer or a dryer, then he's going to be happily telling you because you and him can have this back and forth conversation.
Uh-huh.
I'm going back to why you should learn certain things before you hire certain people to have an intelligent conversation with them and not thinking that you're just giving them your money and they're not servicing you. They
Got
really are. They really are. But you might not, and this is not dumbing anybody down because, I was places where I didn't know stuff and I didn't know the right questions to ask.
Yes.
And so they couldn't give me the right answer that I wanted.
And you don't know the language. Sometimes when you're working with people, you have to build a whole vocabulary in
Mhm.
order to have an intelligent conversation. When people are talking to me about my computer and they're talking about browsers and RAM and uh, cameras and different things at coding and where this why we need a colon in this coding and why we need these brackets to end and begin stuff.
Guy, just fix the computer.
Yeah, and then when you're taking a course and it says, okay, insert this in the coding. Where? How do I even get to the screen that has the coding? Because that has a name for it, the source.
Mhm.
So how do I get to the sourcing code? And they're just saying, go to the sourcing code and
Explain where the sourcing code is for so I can get there.
you know what I mean? So when you're helping people, a lot of times the conversations are there to build vocabulary
It is.
because we can't have an intelligent conversation if we don't understand each other.
Yes.
Communication is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get to where you need to get to. And it's hard. And then when you're spending your money, your
Mhm.
attitude start getting a little stink. You're like, I paid
Well, I think the problem too is if you are, anytime you do anything out of desperation, you're at a
you.
disadvantage.
That right there. That right there, Terry. That right there. Anytime. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You
Because
don't get it. It's
you-
it's hard. It's like I told my mom this morning. I said when I first started doing my work, what I'm doing right now, I started just walking a mile. That was it. And then I moved up to the 2 mile. I went to 3. Now I do 5 miles. I'm great because I'm feeling like this is nothing. But that's because I started at a mile.
you build up to it. And I love to make the analogy between business and dating. And nobody wants to date a person that's desperate.
Nope.
It's like, can we hurry up and get in bed? Excuse me?
Goodbye.
I'm not sure I even know your last name. What are you talking about? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's the way a lot of people are about their business. It's like, can you just give me the money?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I don't know if it fits. I don't know if it.
Yeah. That's what they want. They want the business to get sales. And any sales coach who promise you you're going to make a lot of money in your business, they have to take you through the journey. They have to. And then if they're really good, they're going to want to be on calls with you. They have to guide you through the calls. The one that charge big money do sit there and guide you through calls. That's not a cheap fee because there is tactics. They are listening to hear how you receive. They're listening to the potential client, and they're picking up things that you, as a new person to sales, is not able to do immediately. And so they're walking through the journey. They'll have a conversation with you. And they say, "Well, I heard what you said, and here is how you could have phrased it better. Here is how you could have closed that sale. Here is maybe a few reasons the person didn't buy right away." And that excuse that you got there was really an excuse. Or they'll say to you, the person really want to work with you, but not at present because they've experienced certain things and they're understanding of certain things. And so a person who is helping you do that is going to walk you through some things. It's not going to be immediate. Go back to my story with Brazil. My sister was a really good sales rep, but I had to really prep her and train her how to find the high end merchants who want to take 100 or 1,000 pairs of sandals for me at one time. That's something I sold. And not with the styles, and really talk to them in a certain manner that they'll purchase it. And yes, it might have, and I did lose like a 50 cents or a dollar to the higher merchant, but because he's high end, he sell faster, he sell more, he in a better market with people who can afford us. So even though it might have looked to the person at the time that I'm selling for 50 cents less, I was way ahead of her because she wanted to wait for that 50 cents to sell to people who couldn't sustain her business.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
sustainability is important. If your business is making $100 a week, could I tell you something? It's better you stick to that until you can double it than make $5,000 that week. Because the disappointment that you feel for the other 3 weeks is going to crush you, going to
Mm-hmm.
damage your spirit, your feeling. You're going to go into sadness. I hope not depression, but you're going to real sadness because your body, your whole being has gotten accustomed to $5,000 a week. And it is a blow to your ego, your pride, your everything, that all of a sudden I'm not going to make $5,000. What did I do wrong? How did I speak to people? I'm not good at what I do anymore. Maybe I've lost my edge. All the nonsense talk is going to start happening to you. So it's better to start off again, to consistently make $100 a week and work your way up so you understand how you make it, how it makes you feel. I'm not taking advantage of people. I feel honest when I make my $100. I feel like I'm giving value to them.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get more people. But when you get a spurt, it is not sustainable. And your business has to play the long game. It has to. If this is what you're doing, it has to play the long
Gotcha. Wow.
game.
Wow. So there are two things we need so far. That is the ability to communicate properly and the willingness to wait for the long game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you have to be able. And this is not me telling you that you can't have short rewards that, like a cash infusion can happen. And this is also, let me say this to you. Also, lots of times people are worried because coaches don't come in. And I'm going to say this about our industry. Don't come in and ask people like where you're at. Because I've heard this a lot. Like, how are you living? How are you affording your life right now? And really ask people this. They might want to answer you right away, but you need to build some trust and let them tell you where they are financially. Because it's not only about they paying you five, six, $10,000. I mean, I know people who pay coaches 15 grand and don't have any money left over.
Mm-hmm.
And if that conversation was talked about, they would have known that this person can't pay them 15,000 right now, even though they can help them make more money. That's not a point. I can help people make oodles of money, but that's not the point. I need to know because if you don't have sustainability, you don't have your income happening, you can't do the work I'm going to give you because I'm going to push you to do
Mm-hmm.
things way and above your comfort zone. And every time you push somebody beyond their comfort zone, they get paralyzed. They can't move. They freeze. The mind start boggling them, and they could only think about where shall I escape to. That's all they want to do. And could you imagine putting that against not having money? They are hiding.
Mm-hmm.
They are hiding. They're going to work. They're eating chips. They're eating chocolate if they didn't like it. They are staying longer where they're not supposed to stay because to come and deal with your feelings. Yes, people, the same thing people say don't teach people about their feelings because they're eating it or watching something to get away from it or doing things that is not even healthy for them. They can't get to work in the program because everything's gone. You're taken from them. So
Mm-hmm.
they have to be at a place. I personally like to ask people when they sign with me, like where you are financially and the truth financial part, not the I wish I had 10 grand or I have it in my 401
Mm-hmm.
10 grand, or the people who's a millionaire because their house is now $1 million. If the market crashed, their house probably going to be $200,000. So they're still not a millionaire. You see what I mean? Like you
Yes.
have to know that you have this liquid happening, that you have a resource, you have a supply. Maybe every 2 weeks you get paid, or you got something that you're selling that brings you money. So that the work you're doing right now, at least this is what I learned online, the work you're doing right now that's going to play the long game and bring you money to fulfill your business dreams and what you want to do, You have the capacity to wait. And while you're waiting, there is something feathering in itself, whether it's a husband or a side gig or your main job, that is allowing you to live in the meantime. Because people, human beings, do not like to be squished in a corner. It
Okay.
freaks them the hell out. They
Yes,
don't
it
like
does.
it, self included.
Yeah, it does.
It does, and your attitude got worse if it was there already, or it got there if it never was there. Because now I don't have. I don't have. And I buy the wrong things when I don't have. I get myself into the wrong position. I spend my credit card when I shouldn't. I do all sort of things because I'm trying to ease the pain and the feeling of not good enough, not having enough. Why couldn't I figure this out? Why do I pay somebody $10,000? They can't help me figure it out. But they are helping you. It's just the things they want you to do is hard to do. It's hard to do. It's plus all the other things I got to do in life. I tell people when somebody start a business, they're adding to their lives already. If you weren't in business like I from a child up, this is part of me. So I'm not adding anything. This is what I am. This is my be. This is who I am. I'm in business. I'm engulfed in the idea, the attitude, the behavior of business. If this is not of you, this is hard. This is hard to add to your lifestyle. I like to let you know, I know it's not easy. The things I come and talk about, it's never easy.
Okay. We have a comment here from Brenna. Uh, it's long, so I'm sort of reading through it.
I figured as much.
Okay. Can you see it now, Coach?
I can see it.
Okay. I
But then,
don't say the nurses I have for my daughter, but my experience with nurses and finding adequate providers is, pardon me, challenging and a waste of hours not utilized efficiently in my times, especially if they don't stay after the training. So she has to train the nurses how to um, attend to her daughter. I adore the nurse we have now. It took 8 years, couture us to find, though. Yeah, and we ran out of I've run out of patience. Besides, if they leave, Ariana runs out of nursing at 21. I see it a waste of my time to train or look for others. I'd rather do it myself. This has transferred.
into.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have the rest of it. Hold
Oh.
it. It's transferred. Can you see the rest of it?
For us, it says for us.
Okay, for us.
Yeah. So, in other words, Brenna, you're doing the Caren now instead
I
of
see it
having
down
nurses.
there.
Yeah, because it just makes sense.
Mhm. Well, here's the thing. See, I always look at because this is what biz chicks do. We always look at okay, if that's a problem, then maybe my business is solving that problem. Maybe my business should be training people how to attend to children who have this situation.
Yes.
And in the training, in the interim, I'm getting paid to train someone.
Yeah. Yes. And who am I gonna? One of the things once you do set up your training, who is going to pay me to train their staff? And you're gonna, I'm sure hospitals and resource center, rehab centers is the people, because your daughter, I'm sure whatever disability she has, even though it might be the exact same thing, you will want there are nurses, that's what they specialize in. But some nurses are really good, but their bedside matter stink, just like some doctors. But they're good at what they do, so they need this sort of training.
But finding your audience is one thing, but my thing is obviously there's a need to train these people, whoever
Yes.
they are, and they need to pay for that.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So instead of looking for someone to serve me, I'm looking for someone that I can serve and get paid for doing it.
Right.
And in the interim, they're caring for my daughter, so I don't have to pay for care. They're paying me to come in and learn. Do you understand what I'm saying? Can we, in other words, flip the script on this, maybe,
Yes.
so that you're now receiving resources instead of expending energy?
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes, because it is hard to keep training.
Give them a little certificate and send them home.
Yes, and get a manual ready for them, so when you come in, it's written already, and here we go. Boom.
I have a certificated program
I was known for that. I love giving people certificates.
And people love having certificates.
Yes, yes. And when you took my hair care program, you got a complimentary certificate of merit because you've done the work.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm just saying. So that's just how I look at these kinds of things. And then I mean, there's just a lot of things that can generate income. If you have a specialized vehicle, you can turn that vehicle into a service.
Yeah.
Instead of just paying out money because you need the vehicle. You know what I mean? Having it parked all the time. Someone could be out picking up people while it's ordinarily parked.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people who can't afford a specialized vehicle,
right,
and would pay for the service.
Exactly. Our problems are really solutions. It just, we are here for solution. Everything I've done in business is because of mainly a problem that I found a solution for myself, and then I help people with their solution, because if you're having a problem, there's people having a problem.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And the bigger problem you solve, the more money you make.
Yes, yes.
That's just how it works.
Exactly. Once you have the right attitude towards it, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's really a game changer. You can't say I don't like money and expect to make money. Mm-hmm. Doesn't work together.
So Brenda says every child's needs are different. I understand that. Parents train nurses about their specific needs. The certificate in keeping them and having a respectful recipient-provider relationship. Yes. But there are also some general things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that you have to start a business, Brenna. I'm just saying that when I see a problem, I try to figure out, okay, so how to resolve that problem? How can I get paid to resolve that problem?
Because no matter how you think your problem is unique and nobody else can suffer from it, you realize over time there's this common denominator that happens throughout all humans. And so you might have to tweak certain things, let's say that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You realize quickly that yes, you can help people. You can help people do certain things. And maybe you don't even have to teach one-on-one. You can have people where there's an organization, have you come in and just have a chat about it. They pay you $250 to come in and have a talk,
On a workshop.
Yeah. Next thing you know,
you have subject matter experts come in.
Mm-hmm. You're the go-to person. So, yep. So all this month, we talked about the right attitude towards money. I give you a lot of tips on how to be, how your being should be, mindset, work on this stuff towards your money, growing your business. We cover a lot of stuff. Let me tell you, because I'm a chatterbox. You guys know this. I hope it wasn't overload, but we cover a lot of stuff. And really, I'm just bringing awareness so you guys can pay attention to your feelings and what's happening, how your mind is working. You know your mind better than anybody, and how to be proactive, active, and how to catch yourself when you're going down the dirt road that you don't want to go. Like, big and important.
Stay on the trail, people. Stay on the trail.
Stay narrow and slim. You gotta stay the course. You gotta stay the course. You got to pay attention, and you just have to keep working it. There's no magic pill. It's going to happen. Your time is going to come. If your goal was to make $1 million and you keep working at it, you will make the $1 million. The only way you're not making the million is because you deferring and you're moving things around. You're getting all worried, and you're not allowing yourself the faith and trust that what you set out is going to happen. You're questioning it. The instructor today, Leslie, says, you pull your belly button way back to your back and you stand firm and you stay right. And of course, I had to test it out to see if I wasn't doing that, how I would feel. And I nearly fall down because I was holding myself. And if I go off course, then I fall with what you want us to do. And so you have to know that for a business. I'm joking about it, but it is true. I see why you fall, because it's a simple instruction. Breathe in, breathe out, hold it in, let it out, while you're standing on your feet, or do whatever you wanted us to do, and you didn't do it, you fall down because you're not paying attention. Same thing.
You got to see Alfredo's comments. He's laughing at us. He says, sometimes staying the course needs some adjustments. He says, I learn from success, but I can learn a lot from failure. Yeah,
Yes,
we
true.
all do.
We all do.
I
We
think
all
what
do.
we have to understand is even though we've been super successful all through life, when it comes to certain things, we are going to uh, fall,
Yes.
as failure is,
Yeah.
fall short, um, because we're learning.
Yeah, and staying the course doesn't mean you're not gonna make a mistake. Staying the course doesn't mean you're not gonna fail. Sometimes people think staying the course mean you got to be straight and narrow. And trust me, I was that person. Failing used to just freaks me out because I was just good at winning. And so when I
And
get
you hear things like failure is not an option, you know.
yeah, I used to freak myself out. And I mean, the first time I failed, like big time, and I told Terry this, I lost 20 grand in the fail process, okay? And I went to tongue on myself. And of course, it wasn't just me. I had to tell my husband that here's $20,000 that's no longer accounted for. And we're not recouping it, okay? It's not coming back.
We've all lost $20,000 somewhere on a house, on
Right.
a marriage.
Yeah, it's not coming back. Okay? We're moving on. Don't bring it up.
You cannot get stuck. Don't get stuck there. Don't get
Back, right? So you're still chipping on what you're doing while you're thinking. But when it first hit you, you're like, oh my God, I don't need to do anything more. Like, just leave me alone. I don't want to stay here and cry about it.
no, because the real deal is now you know that trick pony when you see it again. Okay, like
Mm. Nope, not riding you. Nope, not riding you. Nope. Over here.
yeah.
And guys, this was our money month. We talk a lot about money. A lot about money. I hope you really take whatever you need out of it and do with what you please.
Thank you so much, Coach. I just really want to encourage you guys to follow Coach Caren on Island Girl Hustle on Facebook, Instagram. Where else can they find you? Oh, YouTube.
YouTube, yes,
YouTube,
even though some videos need to get better. YouTube,
YouTube,
Twitter. I'm in Twitter in a
Twitter.
minute.
Yes. So get in touch with Coach Caren. Join her Facebook group.
Island Girl Hustle in there. That's my free learn class. You'll learn stuff in there. That's where the free classroom is. I'm slowly putting up units in there. So.
And build a relationship with Coach Caren. So that because you want to work with someone you trust and someone who's going to tell you what to do, clearly. Okay,
Yeah.
I need clear instruction. I need simple, clear instruction because here at Biz Chicks, we do not deal with convoluted crap. That's why we started Biz Chicks. Because people were using these huge words and this vocabulary that we really did not understand. To say, you need a stand if you're going to sell popsicles. Okay, say, I need a stand. Okay. So guys, I really encourage you to follow her. Remember, tomorrow is Thursday, so we're going to be talking about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Don't forget to tune in because if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth.
Right on.
With that, I want to give a shout out to Francine, who's producing the show in the background. Hey, Fran. And thank you so much, Coach.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll be here the same time tomorrow, and we look forward to talking to all of you. We can't have this conversation without your participation. We look forward to it. We love you, and don't forget to go to the front of your own line. See you later.
Bye-bye.